What's up, everybody on YouTube and Twitch? We are going to cast this mega random game. Weasel is here to cast one of his own games on mega random, and oh god, you start with a castle. This could be interesting. I'm going to pause at 21 seconds. Weasel, let me know when you are there.
Alright.
But we have a Malay versus Celt game, which should be very interesting.
Alright. I'm at 21 now.
Alright, go. Alright, Weasel. So, walk me through this opening of yours, knowing that you have a castle to defend yourself. How do you feel about that?
Cool. I can actually defend against any early raids. It's more the 5 vills and 2 scouts start that is a little weird.
Yes, it is definitely a strange one. 2 scouts, though, is very nice. I'm actually going to be following Fog of War for the red player. See what you are kind of both looking at. So what do you feel like you're going to go with? I know you love the Malay and you're super bummed that they're broken.
I am very bummed that they're broken, and this is one of the post-break games.
Oh!
So I am playing at a severe disadvantage right from the start. But the Malay have hands down, well, yes, they have one of the best trash units in the entire game in post-Imperial play. So that's kind of my game plan. It's a mega random map, so let's just go with something I'm familiar with, that I'm comfortable with, and in the event that there's just a lot of wood and nothing else, I can definitely go up with something.
Yeah, this map is very rough. It looks like kind of like an Acropolis map, but only by looking at the mini map, and it's just a massive, like, I don't know, it's almost like dry riverbeds it looks like on the map too, but they're all hills. So it's a very interesting generation.
Yeah, it was a weird one right off the bat, but notice the 8 tiles of stone right next to my castle.
Oh yes, I saw that. There's also
Yeah.
another 8 tiles of gold to the south of your castle as well.
So I recognized that and saw all of that and kind of got the wheels turning a little bit that I might be using more than the castle that I started with.
Yeah, I mean, have you watched the wreck at all?
I watched it last night, and for all of your viewers, just know this: there is a 0% chance I should ever win this game, ever.
Fair enough. I mean, given the map though and all of this stone, you would think that you would have a pretty good shot because you're going to be able to defend yourself very well and you're going to have a very mobile army.
Not so much. Their cavalry is regarded as the worst in the entire game.
That's true.
So
Celts do get paladin, don't they?
they do, but Paladin kind of beats the crap out of light cav and non-upgraded war elephants and knights. So
Very true.
yeah, the Malay don't even get the second tech upgrade, armor tech upgrade for the cavalry. So cavalry is not their strong suit, but they do get full upgrades on both their barracks and stable.
Yes, this is true. I mean, your scouting is looking very nice here. You have scouted almost your entire side of the map, actually. And what you can't scout right now on your southern corner of the map is where all your wood lines are. In comparison
Yeah,
to
that
your...
one on the left hand side is starting to find it and sniff around and
Yeah, and in comparison, your opponent actually, you both have very good scouting. You haven't found your enemy yet, if memory serves correctly here, but you're about to walk into him there.
yeah, I was more concerned with finding my resources. With Mega Random, you never know what's gonna what,
Oh, of
and
course.
so I wanted to make sure that I knew where I could expand or where my opponent might expand.
Yeah, you have a very nice little wall off coming in over here, walling yourself off on that side to protect your main gold, which I like. You're also walling yourself off in the front, kind of leaving open the side of the castle, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, the path of least resistance is going to be not the least resistance.
Absolutely. So right now you're also up by 2 villagers, like, actually 3 with that last one that just popped out there. Did you feel like you had the advantage by looking at the score at all?
I did, but I was also aware of the 160% uptime, so I knew I had to be a little on the more cautious side because that could go away very quickly in that last
Absolutely.
60%.
Absolutely. Now, let me ask you. With the Malay being broken, a lot of players are avoiding playing the Malay. Why do you still choose to play them, being as they're broken?
Um,
Is just
I know
you
their
really
strengths.
like
I
the
know the weaknesses.
Civ?
I'm really really comfortable with them. Um, I play them in solo games sometimes just when I panic and pick one. In team games though, they're actually still not a bad pocket, especially on hybrid maps, where on especially something like Scandinavia or Alpine lakes, where you can dock and fish, and then later on get those harbors up and actually be able to protect your teammates as well as get those unlimited food fish traps. And if worst comes to worst, you can always go forced levy and out goth the Goths.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's an excellent point. I don't know if you're going to outdo the Goth with the Goth spam, but I mean, they definitely have a very good infantry overall, especially not costing gold. That's the real kicker.
Yeah, but with that, that's probably their best unique tech, or that's their. I don't know if it'd be their best comp or what, but it's definitely one that can change games, especially late.
No, absolutely. I mean, a unit as good as two-handed swordsmen and not costing gold could be really huge, especially on a map like this, where the golds are very sparse. Other than your main gold on the side there, you have 2 tile gold on the left, and then you have, is it a couple more 2 tile golds on the right-hand side?
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. Juice, have
I
you watched this one yet?
no, not at all. I mean, I am currently watching a over 100% feudal time for the Malay.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, but I have to point it out because it's broken.
It.
But I also am really liking your wall off here. It looks really good. I think your problem right now is going to be actually like defending this
Getting them
massive
deployed.
wall if he is to attack there.
Hmm.
Trying to rewall that's going to be a crazy thing. 167, I believe that went up to right there, or
Yeah.
pretty close to. But you finally made it. You're still looking 2 villagers up over here, so things are looking quite well. I've kind of been neglecting the red player. I don't even know how to say this name. It sounds like it's Samedonya. Um, Either way, he's got a pretty decent build going on as well. He also is walling up on his side, and he's still taking his deer, which I believe you are as... Oh, you just finished those up here recently. Interesting maneuver. You are building your military buildings in the back of your base. Are you trying to hide what you're going here, or
A little bit.
a
Yeah.
little bit?
I was trying to debate him into doing something and trying to be able to react to it. I was gonna look to go Arbalester,
Hmm.
but it didn't work out that well.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like your build is not set up for an archer build at all right now. You only have 4 on gold. You are researching still into it, with fletching just coming in. It doesn't look like you're set up to go that route. It looks like you're actually set up to do a scout build with all these farms here.
Hmm.
You do have archers coming
Also,
out of 2 town centers, though. You are getting a decent number of them up. So, you can still do some damage. At the same time, though, I do have to look at your scouting, because you have not scouted his wall off.
I lost one scout to his town center because I
Hmm.
wasn't paying attention, and then trying to be very careful with the second one.
No,
And I
I mean,
believe
makes sense.
after I killed his scout, his ran right into my castle. I'm pretty sure I said, "Hey, so GG, right?" I automatically win.
Nice. No, I mean,
So
overall, it looks like you've got a very strange build going on if you're trying to go into archers. Do you know what the gold is like? What you're supposed to have on gold to constantly produce out of two ranges?
honestly, I'm not even sure what I was going with at this point. I think I had the two ranges up just to do some sort of damage and then transition into skirms because at this level, most people either go scouts, and I noticed that he wasn't going scouts, or they go archers. So those two ranges are also partially a defensive idea for skirms.
Yeah. No, it makes
So
sense. I mean, it's not a
yeah,
bad idea. I believe you need 4 on gold per archery range, if I'm not mistaken, to actually go that route. You could also use refresh lumber camp, by the way. That
yeah.
that one's a little bit rough to
With
watch. But
how little wood there was, I was trying to be a little more conservative on that before transitioning over to the left hand side.
fair enough. I mean, you are going to get in with these archers. You are going to pass up his walls and walk right past him into a ton of villagers. So you do have fletching. I do expect this to be a pretty good attack for you here.
I'm glad you're a lot more confident in that than I am.
I mean, you did. You got in here. You got Vils. You're idling a
One.
ton of his eco. You're gonna get 2, right? You're gonna get this one right here. No, you're gonna walk right past these Vils and right into
Yep.
these
Yep,
archers.
that's right. Yeah, especially on that. Yep. I think I was trying to get out at that point.
Hmm.
Save them.
Yeah, this hurts. This hurts right here.
Yeah,
Just so the
that was not
viewers know,
great.
you guys elos around what 1,050 or so probably during this
Yeah,
match.
somewhere around 1050.
Yeah. So, and that wasn't ideal, obviously. I think you just clicked back to your base, rather than clicking like the way that you came. I think maybe a little bit of not being comfortable with an archer rush, maybe.
Yeah.
Your opponent is doing the right thing, though. He did defend. He did lose 1 Vil, and he's now headed forward. And he's actually headed forward with a pretty decent army count here of 16. And yep, here comes your skirms. I like this in defense. I think this is the right move, and you kind of spoke to that earlier, that you were kind of planning for that in defense as well.
Yeah, with forward archery range, it's a little more difficult to defend against an archer rush. So
Yeah.
because you can't get those numbers out and actually mass up with it. But having that castle there, you can actually afford to kind of give up to the scout rush a little bit because you're going to have extra bill storage and a little extra offense.
Mm-hmm. Now, you did garrison a lot of villagers right there in your stone, from your stone into your castle. Were you just worried that he had more army coming? And you just
I
took him
think
back
so.
out there as well.
I believe so.
I mean, fortunately, you were really good on your castle time, so you're not going to be too far behind his with this broken Malay problem. He is losing quite a few military units by walking into castle fire and your skirms, which is quite nice for you, actually.
Yeah, that's. I was trying to bait him to draw him back into the fire and use my defensive buildings.
No,
Do a little
absolutely.
aggro and run back, and do a little more aggro and run back.
No, it looks like you played that quite well. And interestingly enough, though, you're very busy with microing this, so you are falling behind on your TCs, it looks like, as your opponent is going to go ahead and get up his second town center, and he looks like he was walling. It looks like he stopped over there. I don't know what that is about. Ooh, those town centers are terribly placed, however. Oh my. I don't like his town centers at all.
Not even a little bit.
And you are going
But
Battle Elephant, which is interesting as you finish walling off the side of your map over here.
if you look at his fog of war,
Hmm.
he did a very poor job of scouting where the wood was on the map.
Yeah, I mean, he can still see some on the middle of the map, though. I mean, that's you see that much wood. I think you're pretty comfortable with that. And he is still scouting at least, but yeah, I see what you're saying. He'd miss his huge wood line in the corner there, which actually I think his wood line in that corner is actually better than your wood line on the south. As a bear chases your villagers down here into the corner, very very lovely. That's a very safe town center right there.
Indeed, it was. I saw the stone. I saw that there was a little cubby there, so I thought that would be a nice little spot just to get some stone and some wood.
I like this. You have Karambit warriors. You have 6 of them. You've pushed them forward to try to potentially deny a TC, I would say, where you place them anyways. And the battle elephants are just building in number.
It wasn't so much that they're going out there to deny a TC. Well, you'll see.
Fair enough.
What I was thinking was a little smoke and mirrors. I knew the Karambits have much higher speed than anything that he was going with at the time.
Yeah.
And I knew that elephants do a lot of trample damage. Celts are normally going to go with some combination of pikes, woads, and siege. So they're going to do trample damage to anything that gets close to them. And at this point here, elephants break through, but I ran in too early with my Karambits to do any eco damage.
No, yeah, he stopped to deal with your Karambits because you were just sitting out there destroying palisade walls. So now I'm curious. You went Karambits, which I understand makes sense. They're fast to get in there, but I'm certain that you figured, infantry civ. So why not go more skirmisher based along with your elephants?
I had already made the Karambits to defend against that archer rush, or that archer attack, so I already had them, and decided to go elephant into the front.
Okay.
If I had to do it over again, I would have sent the elephants to the left-hand side to draw all of his units away, and then send the Karambits in on the wood line.
Yeah.
To the right-hand side.
No, fair enough, fair enough.
I knew about that hole that he had at the top, so I was trying to weasel my way around there.
Nicely played. No, I mean, at this point you are behind on a lot of ills right now. I think it's just because your TC was up later and you invested so much into those elephants, food-wise. You did get a very nice forward castle here. I think, unfortunately, your placement of that castle was probably limited by those weird little hills, but nonetheless, it's a very good castle over there, and I see villagers moving forward to build something. I can't really see what that is. Oh, you're walling in between there. Oh
University
my. Look at that. You're going to try to wall off even more of the map. So I'm guessing at this point you decide this is going to go late. You're going to try to wall as much as possible and, defend everything you can?
I was thinking more of just denying any potential raids. Woad raiders, super high speed, so denying those little choke points where he might be able to squirt some units through, because I was planning on taking that stone and that gold just as a little extra safety precaution. Force the fight where I want to take the fight.
No, definitely makes sense. I see you're also collecting relics. You're up to 1 in your barrack, or 1 in your monastery, 1 on your way back, and I think I saw another monk headed out as well. So you're looking to have a pretty good advantage in the relic count. Your military count right now is only 7 compared to 21, but I mean your opponent isn't coming for you, isn't forcing his way out. You have the defensive castles in place. So I feel like at this point you're feeling pretty comfortable here. Yes?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Really making him try to press the issue on anything at all and seeing what I can get away with.
No, absolutely. Makes sense to me.
I don't see that castle going up on the right-hand side.
Well, you're going to see it here in a second. As soon as it fires on that university of yours, I imagine.
Maybe.
Assuming he has fletching, he should be able to shoot that. I do like this castle on the left-hand side as well. This is a very, very ballsy castle. Just so you know.
Go
Got
big or go home.
got 5 vills right here building a castle. I mean, it's a great castle placement. I mean, he shouldn't have let you get away with that one. He's very lax in his military right now, though. He's just trying to collect some upgrades, and oh, look, firing at that university.
Oh no, my university. Are my people gonna get support?
I see we have 3 barracks coming down. Are you going to go forced levy here?
I might be. And that might come into play.
I would say that you are 100% going forced levy at this point in the game. With 3 barracks coming down right there, you already have your starting barracks. You also have a lot of castles coming in.
Yeah, again, having that 8-tile stone and then seeing the rest around me. My game plan from the word go was get some map control with castles.
Yep.
No, very well. I mean, I think it was a really good strat, especially if you look at your scouting right now. You see a lot of the map. You're going to actually stone wall that side. Oh my goodness. This is a impressive wall-off attempt right here.
For the exact same reason, I went for the wall on the right-hand side, too. I don't want him getting units around there. I don't want him getting that relic on the left-hand side. I don't want him coming around down that hill on the weak side of my wall.
I mean, no, it's excellent. I mean, that stone wall, and you have 2 castles in the middle. You're actually putting in 3 forward archery ranges as well as the barracks. You're researching cav archers. Malay cav archers? This is an interesting maneuver.
They're not terrible. They're not good.
I was going to say, they're not good. Interesting maneuver. I mean, at this point, though, where you're sitting, I mean, if you have the res, I mean, why not? Especially since you've seen most of the map. I mean, the only spots you haven't seen is where you expect his castle to be. The one that he started with. And the rest of it, you have full vision right now. I mean, it's very, very interesting. He is on his way to Imperial Age ahead of you, though, and you're hurting on some resources there. You have a ton of stone, but given the broken Malay at this point, how do you feel whenever he hits Imperial Age?
I still feel pretty confident. Those cav archers, I mean, they've got better pierce armor than normal. Oh, no, they don't. Oh, my goodness. I guess I got used to playing Tatars. Wow. Did I research anything from my barracks? I don't know.
Oh, look at this maneuver. Petards. Oh, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. A petard play.
Of the meme strat.
Petards are excellent. I don't know that's not a meme at all. That's beautiful play. Interestingly, though, you're going for the barracks. I assume you're just trying to get in here. Palisade has a lot less hit points. I think it would have served you well to go that direction.
You build units from a Palisade wall now, can you?
This is true, but you're still not in, and now he has time to react where you could have been in killing villagers before he had his military over there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm all for the killing of production buildings, but at that point you have a very mobile unit. His military is all at the northern end of that castle, and I think it would have been. You do get a Vil kill at least. Oh, and there's a hole. He has a hole. He just had a villager. Oh, he housed it in. Oh, how unfortunate. Oh no. Are we gonna see a big mangonel hit here in a second?
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, we do. Only 3. Oh, well. Oh, well. 4. Oh, that's unfortunate. You did take out the barracks, though. You got your job done right there.
I got it.
And then there's the broken 100+ Imperial Age. Yeah, but see, now you're running past If you would have gone through the palisade wall, you probably could have been way back in there. I mean, given you didn't see anything over there anyways, it's not like there was a lot back there. He is trebbing you down. For some reason, he trebbed down the university first. I don't know what his reasoning was for that one there, but...
Well,
Go
I
ahead.
don't want to give anything away,
Mm-hmm.
but let's say that that's a running theme.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, I have a general idea of how this is going to go, so just by what I'm seeing from both of you, I'm just not sure how it's going to play out. You do add the skirmishers. I do like this addition. It's really good against all of these pikemen and woad raiders. You do kill a very large number of them, and he is not being very aggressive at all, being very passive actually.
Yep.
Up until this point, that is. He's starting to try to be aggressive, but you are not afraid to build castles with very few villagers as well. Very interesting.
Go big or go home.
So at this point, you are losing all forward production buildings. Or he thinks twice about it. Oh, he sees the castle. Oh boy. An interesting play for him. Deleted the castle, that was a good idea. Rather than lose it all. And at this point, you have stopped creating villagers. So this is probably hurting you a little bit. You are getting the two-handed swordsman out. I did not see if force levy came in. I'm assuming it most likely did by now. He also teched into skirmisher as well, though. Your cav archers are taking some unfortunate hits here. Those woad raiders are so fast. It's not even funny. And I see Karambit warriors coming in. Alright, fast infantry v fast infantry.
Sorry, I was having a sneezing fit.
Not a worry, I will continue to talk. Unfortunately, you are missing a few upgrades from your infantry line, but given that you produce them so fast, if you just click a castle and watch how fast these things create, it's insane. You have to love it.
Yeah, the Karambits are not meant to be used as a primary offensive unit. They are one of the best defensive units, believe it or not, just because of that creation time.
All that, and that they are very good at raiding as quick as they are. And yes, I see he's just gonna be content trebbing down as many buildings as possible at this point.
One at a time. Dude.
Elite Woad Raider comes in for him. Your villager counts are, you're +7 right now. He has 10 idols though, and you are fluctuating your idols a little bit here and there, but otherwise you've kept most of them working for the most part. You are refreshing wood camps on the other side, which is a relief to see after the first one that I saw. You also are off of stone in your base. You have 1700. Oh no, he has 1700 stone. You have 2500 stone. But unfortunately, you're just getting trebbed down at this point. So it looks like he's just going to keep pushing slowly and trebbing everything down he can. He's not really strategically going for any building specifically. He's just trebbing whatever is in sight, it looks like.
Yeah. Like I said at the start, there is no reason I should have ever won this game. And a push right here toward the middle from red to take down that forward or that central castle behind the barracks.
Yep.
Would have been a great idea. Taking out the castle that I started with would have been a great idea.
But he's just focusing on every possible building.
To the right side to see just anything to the right side at all to scout that out would have been a great idea. Fortunately for me, he didn't do that.
Yeah, he is also researching a lot of things right now. He's researching chemistry. I mean, he got what did he get? Hoardings. He got hoardings already. I mean, he's just researching everything he possibly
And here
can.
it comes back. Oh, well, I'm sorry. Did you make a comment earlier about my 2 Ville castles?
I did, yes. I see it there. I see it. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting to see if it actually goes up this time. Last time you ran away from it and deleted it, but you are losing those trebuchets to quite a few elite world raiders, unfortunately, and your military numbers are rapidly getting killed. Right now, he has a 49 to 2 advantage
I'm
militarily.
also top capped at 100 units.
Yeah, and you have 99 villagers. This is a painful thing, and you're about to be losing what looks like yet another round of production buildings here, just behind this one. So, oh, and the castle, it's only at 92%. There's a bunch of villas there. Is he gonna notice? He's ignoring the castle that you're building with 2 villagers, and it's gonna go up.
I don't think he saw it.
Yeah, it clearly he would.
He saw it now. Yeah.
Oh, look at these barracks. This is an aggressive barracks play, but I guess he's trebbing everything in the other direction, so why not? He does a very, very centralized push here, which I think really hurts him. But I mean, he is at least pushing you. He's trying, anyways.
Yeah, he's got a 2,000 score lead. He knows he has the military lead and the military advantage with loads. He's got 3 trebs out. He's got mangoes out.
Well, he also has almost a 3,000 point score lead, so he's feeling like he's definitely in the driver's seat here. I see you rushed up another that castle with those 2 villagers, and looks like you're building some houses somewhere for your pop cap to be able to go up that quickly. The force levy play on the left-hand side, going after archery range, is interesting. You're actually pulling his focus away from his trebuchets. Looks like you are going to take one out with that mangonel, which is quite nice. Oh, what is this castle on the right? 2 villager castles. You got 13 on that one. It's all for the better, though. Get that up. You're going to actually deny a bunch of resources from him as well, which is nice. Unfortunately, you're taking fights when you're very outnumbered, but it is slowing him down quite considerably.
Which is exactly what I was trying to do, making sure that he couldn't push 100%, or with 100% of what he had. Just trying to keep his forces a little occupied.
No, I would say you absolutely took care of that. I mean, he's not pushing very quickly. He's reacting to what you're doing. At least you're buying yourself time. You're not messing around on the right-hand side of the map. That's another castle that just went up right there. So right now you've lost the center of your buildings that you first built. You're just building tons more barracks. At any point in time, did you consider a switch into potentially light cav?
I did not, since they would be at a severe disadvantage against those halberdiers.
They would be. I just, with your forward barracks on the left-hand side, I didn't know if you thought about gathering a few of those just to send into the eco.
I wasn't at this point. I wasn't as concerned with raiding his eco so much as slowing his army and starving him of resources.
Fair enough.
And I think it was no, this wasn't it yet. Sorry, the quote of the game was a little bit later than this.
Oh yes, please feel free to share that with us, as your push is actually doing quite a bit of damage to him. He's actually pulling all of his army back to fight off this small push you have over here, which is, well, it was taking out a castle, and then you decided to take out some other buildings, it looks like.
I think my trebs just stopped firing at it.
Well, that's unfortunate. You would have taken that thing down. And now those trebs are going to go down to elite roads.
That's fine. I've got another one on the right-hand side.
Oh, I see that. You're also defending against Woad Raiders quite decently there with 2 Castle Fire, and you have 2-handed swordsmen over there. I mean, I think what you're doing is very good. You're spreading side to side. You're bouncing back and forth. You're kind of hurting him by making him go all over the map.
And it was at this point in time when he saw the Treb on the right-hand side.
Oh, he's got a
Then he-
battering ram that killed 2 siege onagers.
It was at this point in time he said, "You play like a terrorist."
I mean, that's what you gotta do sometimes. No, I like this. This play is really good from you. You're going back and forth, side to side. He beats you somewhere, and then you push him back somewhere else.
Yeah, that push on the left-hand side didn't work, but I saw that he took almost his whole army there, so I just made on the right-hand side.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it didn't work for him, but it worked out pretty well for you, actually.
Yeah, at this point, I see that he doesn't have any woads coming out at all. I know that I've taken out another castle, or I took down his castle, so he's got a little bit less population. So I know that I might be able to push this a little bit better.
Yeah, no,
But
absolutely.
I want him to come to me.
Yeah, I mean, right now you're doing well playing defensively and mixing up sides, so why change that up if you don't have to? Especially since all of his units are costing him gold right now, and yours are not.
I know I have a relic advantage. I know I have still gold in the bank, and I know that my primary unit isn't costing me gold.
Yeah, and he's housed, so that doesn't help him at all. He actually has a massive amount of resources at this point in the game, and he could spam units all day long, but he's housed, so that hurts him quite significantly.
Sniping that Treb didn't help anything for him either.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then he's killing his own units with those few that you sent forward with the onager as well. Oh, and we have yet another castle here, and oh, pop out all those 2-handed swordsmen. Looks like you're starting to overwhelm him on the numbers as well.
Taking finally got to
military.
where two-handed is at its prime, and that's against trash.
Yep, and you're taking out a ton of his military units. You actually were down by quite a large military number, and now you're up by 40 units. Quite impressive. And there comes the push in the middle as well. I like it. And he's going to try to attack you with villagers. Apparently, no, he thought better of it. Your ram play is very interesting. It is only a battering ram, but it is making the push.
It was left over from those onagers.
Oh, hey, yeah, might as well send it forward and get some value out of it.
Which, when he left those onagers there, I just kind of chuckled myself and thought about about that.
Yeah, I'm glad I saw that. It was a very nice play. Now you're pushing on both sides here. Well, you're not pushing on the right-hand side, but you're holding quite convincingly. All you are taking out his castle is very pushing a little bit, and he just doesn't have the ability to react now. And the number of castles, it's insane from you compared to him right now. Oh my.
He had the one stone in the back. He had a five stone on his left hand side, and he never saw the 4 stone in the back, or on the right hand side for him.
Yeah, he never went for the gold back there either.
Mm-hmm.
No, all in all, that was really well played. You did what you needed to do to survive. You got into the late game. You saw the map, you read the map, you went crazy on the castles. I mean, at the end of the game, you still have 1,600 stone, which is quite remarkable for a map. Mega random is always interesting. So after playing this, I must ask, do you feel the elephant play was still worth it in the beginning?
No, not even a little bit.
All right, because I feel like that really hurts you, because you fell behind in eco slightly. They didn't get you a whole lot of value. I know what you were trying. I like what you were trying, but unfortunately, I think it just kind of backfired a little bit there.
Yeah, in a lot of my games, I try out of the box sort of ideas just to see if I can get away with it. Number one, and number two, if it'll actually work.
No, I know. I've seen a lot of unique strategies from you. Some
Do
of
not
which
discount
I didn't think
my
was going to work.
axe.
Yeah, you had a lot of barracks there, and it paid off for you at the end. You're also the first person I've ever seen make Mongol step lancers and make that work with convincing fashion.
30% extra HP. That's all I'm saying. 30% extra HP.
Fair enough, fair enough. Well, I'm going to pull up the statistics for this game here, and as we look at it now, you have the eco, the technology, the society, and of course the total, where he barely outdid you on the military. You probably would have surpassed him just a few minutes later. I think his military lead just comes from he killed more buildings.
Mm-hmm.
But all in all, your eco, I mean, 10,000 gold, just slightly above his, but that stone collection is massively different. And then wood, you will beat him out by 2,000. He had a ton of food left over at the end, so you actually had a lot of resources left over as well, but you were massively producing things, so, and researching things. Clearly, you won the technology score. So, GG.
If I had to play that game over again, I probably would have done everything the same except make more barracks.
Fair enough. I mean, I like that plan.
But
Well,
yeah, it was a fun game to play, fun game to rewatch.
no, absolutely. I hope you guys on YouTube enjoyed it. This is Weasel. You've seen him in one of my previous games that I casted for YouTube, and I'll let him join whenever he wants to cast again. So appreciate having you, man.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for having me. Hope to at
Absolutely.
least get some more fodder.
Yep. So everybody out there on YouTube and Twitch watching right now, make sure you follow, like, subscribe, all that for more content, and we will see you some other time. Later.